What's up, guys? This is Tim with the Fusion Press, and I am here with Best Intentions, local Nashville pop punk group. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Jim. Drums. Play drums.
Awesome.
I'm Matthew. I play guitar.
Okay.
I'm Tony. I sing and play guitar.
I'm Evan. I play bass.
Cool.
Or pretend to.
Pretend to play bass.
Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, we all pretend to do stuff. But anyway, so Matthew, so you started the band in 2016 back in Philly, right?
Yes.
But then you moved here in 2017 and had to restart, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
So how did that go for you? Starting in Philly and then moving to Nashville and just having to start back at square one.
It was slow and frustrating.
Okay.
I left Philly for a job offer. I remember the band in Philly basically ended up getting job offers all at the same time in different places.
Yeah.
We kind of disbanded, and I came here and I started working, and I didn't really know anyone. I didn't really have anyone. It was right at a time when we were starting to get some traction in Philly, so it was very frustrating to leave a bunch of show offers and tour offers behind to come here and then have to start from square one. But a couple months in, I met Tony, and Tony happened to live with Jim, and it kind of seemed like, all right, well, here we go. Got a singer, I got a drummer, I can start doing this again.
So where does Evan fit in?
Evan came
Still
in
working on it.
about a year into this, which was a very slow year. We were all figuring it out. We were working on the album and starting to practice. We were actually running tracks for bass at the first couple shows, and we met Evan right around the time we started playing shows. And I kind of went to the guys and said, I think we should have a real bassist. I think.
Yeah, Evan, it was crazy, dude. Me, Evan, and Jim are still in school, finishing up school over at MTSU.
Okay.
And I was literally in this I had this astronomy lecture class, 300 people, and I can't remember. I think I sat down next to Evan, or Evan sat down next to me, and we just
love at first sight.
Yeah, we basically just memed out and talked about music and stuff.
Yo, you like memes?
Dude, it was literally like that. And we just had a lot in common, and he ran merch for our first show with just us, but then we just liked him enough to ask him to play bass in the band. So.
Classic merch got a bassist move.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Will you always remember when you look at me now? I was always on the ground. Looking back and
So tell me about the album and how your process was of making that.
It was slow, because when I first started it was just me and Tony. We didn't really know, we hadn't set up the band yet. I didn't know if he was singing or if I was going to have someone else, or I don't even know if I'd met Jim more than once at this point.
Okay.
And we just started writing songs for kind of the theoretical album that would eventually happen. And it started out much different than what the final product was. I was going for a different vibe in my own head, and I was working with Tony on songs, and I think over time with some of the classic bands that I grew up listening to, like Newfound Glory and other bands in that genre coming back and starting to do more things again and getting bigger again, I started to shift back towards that sound. Best Intentions always was a old school band. We always were very nostalgic of our first EP, which is sort of unreleased, but it was originally called Nostalgia.
Okay.
And so with this, I wanted to sort of take that EP, which was very old school. It sounded like it was made in 2005. And I wanted to bring that to modern day. And as we developed, we ended up writing probably most of the songs in the last 2 months. We just started writing new songs and taking old songs off the record and putting new ones on.
Yeah.
And I think right around that Limbs show, we sort of hit our stride with writing. And we put out our first single not too long later. It was around New Year's, and then a month later another single, and then the album in May.
Okay.
And it's sort of all about, it's kind of about my past, but also moving on in a bit, which I know is sort of cliche, but it's also, for me, I wanted to sort of move on from the cliche. It felt like the best way to say goodbye to that was to do the most cliche album yet.
Okay.
Kind of master the cliche, and then the next album I wanted to do something different and sort of develop us.
And if I'm being honest with myself, now it's time to put these old dreams up on the shelf. And if I'm being honest, I'm not sure how these lonely nights could bring me closer to closure.
What made you want to title it The Losers Club?
So I think that again has a couple like the meaning behind the Losers Club has a couple different. It kind of varies between each band member, but it's like
Okay.
important to each of us, which is why we thought it would be like an appropriate title. Obviously, like there's a it's like an It reference, and most of it. I know Matt and I are big like horror buffs and stuff, and we love that stuff. So like we thought it was cool, but I know like personally for me, like the Losers Club, it's kind of like I have a lot of like other friends and like people I know that work in like music and do music, professionally, or trying to, and like I know Matt and I are like engineers and as well as musicians, and we've tried to like, at least I've tried to like get involved with like working with lots of different people, and sometimes it's like maybe, or I'm just gonna go with this other guy, but it's like it's kind of like people, it comes from like people like dismissing you before they even give you the chance.
Yeah.
Before they really decide whether they want to dismiss you or not. So like it kind of just makes you feel like a loser sometimes. So it's kind of just like, instead of like sulking and just feeling thinking like, oh, I'm a loser, it's just like, you know what, I'm just gonna embrace it, like I'm gonna do myself, and if like I'm sitting here with my bandmates and we're the Losers Club, then so be it. Like I wouldn't have it any other way.
Awesome.
Like if that makes sense. So that's what it means for me. I mean, you guys can elaborate.
For me, I know it's a little different. I mean, the overall meaning is kind of the same for all of us, I think, in the end, but the way we got there is different. It was a little different. I grew up in a town in New York where everything was sort of laid out for everybody. It was one of those towns where all the parents knew exactly what they wanted to do with their kids. You're going to go to this school, you're going to get this job. And, my parents weren't that way. My parents were very, helpful, and they always motivated me to like pursue music and do creative things. But a lot of the kids I went to school with were all, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a lawyer, I'm going to be a businessman, I got to make this much money and buy this apartment. And when I went into music, I went to school for music for 4 years. I graduated. I didn't take a full-time job somewhere for a paycheck. I went and did a band that I was producing. They all thought I was crazy. And a lot of them, looked at it and said, oh, well, I graduated college and I made, 6 figures and drive a fancy car and all that stuff, so you're a loser. And I was sitting there going, yeah, but I'm happy with my life. And you're probably not, even though you're pretending you are. So, like he said, in the end, if I'm with the people I love and I'm doing the things I love, if you want to call me a loser, that's all right. I'll embrace it at this point.
Awesome.
Yeah.
For me, that's pretty much like nail on the head, really.
Okay. Cool.
I mean,
So just
You have something different, or did we cover
I feel like,
Yeah.
just
I feel like
embrace, so just embracing overall, just being who you are.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really kind of like what I'm getting from you guys. Who are you guys looking to tour with? I mean,
we're
if
looking-
you're allowed to tell me.
I think we're allowed to tell you. We approached a friend of ours who we've actually worked with, he's actually a local pop artist, but he does sort of emo-y kind of pop.
Okay.
And we thought it would be like a fun vibe. His name is Christian James,
Okay.
and so our goal is to like package with him and just do the run with him, and at this point it's going to be sort of hopefully getting people to come out just for the sake of a show,
Oh yeah.
and getting the tour under our belt, and then hoping in December to try to hit the road with somebody a little bit bigger and do some of the bigger venues. And those
Right.
things.
I mean, this will be you guys' first tour, right?
Yeah, with this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be pretty sweet. I mean, definitely help you grow your fan base a little
Oh,
bit,
yeah.
expand out of Nashville, and I don't know if you still have listeners back in Philly, but
We do. Philly and New York, we still have some fans just thanks to our connections there and our friends there. But
Awesome. So what's like the biggest thing like to you that you feel like has happened for the band?
probably either we got a new punk tracks. Our song Roses got a new punk tracks recently,
Okay.
which was huge because that's a very renowned playlist for pop punk.
it was also our first like Spotify curated.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Since we
So that must have been pretty good feeling.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Oh, that was
yeah.
We came
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
the record came out May 3rd, and I believe we got on that 2 days later, 2 or 3 days later maybe.
Yeah.
Got on that, and that was huge for us.
And
That was,
that's also the song we have a video out for. That
Yep.
we put a lot of work into.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that just available on YouTube?
Yeah.
Cool.
Just search Best Intentions Roses. It should come up.
A lot of red and blue lights.
Yeah.
A lot of
A lot of lights and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome. But anyways, so is there anything else you guys might have to say?
I guess first and foremost, thank you guys for
yes,
doing this
Yeah.
interview with us.
Awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And also, I mean, just be on the lookout. We're looking to put out some new music over the summer, like here and there, and it's very possible we're going to be touring the Northeast and down in Florida. So
Sweet.
come say hi if you're near
Yeah.
a show.
Awesome. Well, good luck, you guys, and thanks for sitting down and talking with me. But anyways, I think we're wrapping it up here. See you later, guys.
What up? Peace.